pressed it once and it's counting the timer.
Alright, man.
I pressed it once, pressed...
Right, just leave it like that, Con.
Pressed it again?
No. I'll tell you when.
You're filming? No, you're taking photographs.
Con, you don't talk, man. Man, this is more like a comedy there than a film, man. What are you doing? Okay? I told you, man, you press it once and then you press it again when you finish right now.
You relax. The arms out.
This way?
Yeah.
Does it look a lot different than last time?
No.
What do you mean?
Come on, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, hang on, man. Hang on.
Come on, I'm getting tired.
Yeah, hang on, man.
I'm tired, man. I want to stop it. Stop it. Come here. Stop it.
Just press it when you stop it.
Press it?
Yeah.
Greetings. The first thing you got to understand in this home exercise series 3, video 3, is that breathing exercises is the most greatest exercise, or what everything is. Every exercise benefits you in some way or another. Spiritual exercise profits you in every way, though, but that's another subject. Breathing is very good for you, especially in the country. Maybe not do too well in the city when it's polluted air or if you smoke. But it's better to do exercises in a polluted area than do none at all, because you've got to breathe. You don't breathe, you're going to die. But it's much better and perfectly done in places like the country area. It's fresh air. If you have smoking problems in the country area, it can be cleaned out very easily through oxygen. Okay, if you know the strategies behind it. You stand, horse stand, anything that you do, whether it's a horse stance or middle stance, okay, it has to, the knees have to be slightly bent. This is where the classical kung fu method, okay, comes into the scene, where your legs have to be slightly bent. If they're straight, there's pressure on the knees. Not just in breathing, breathing is just a light exercise, but any exercise that you do. And it takes longer to go down and then back up in combat. But if you're bent in combat, you can move like a horse. If you're not in a horse stance, you move like a walking pace, or whatever your stance is, whether it's horse stance or not, the knees are bent. So by bending the knees slightly, keeping the stomach in, and one of these valves, you don't put it too tight or loose, you put it just enough. Will bring the stomach in. So by having this belt on all day or 1 hour, or as long as you can tolerate it, will develop the stomach area. And you're not doing that. You might be doing work or reading. It's still developing the stomach. Keeps the stomach in, but it has to be where the belly button is. With the right place where you put the belt, not underneath. If you put it underneath like today, the stomach's going to pop out and it's going to become fat. If you put it down in here at the right place, it's going to put the stomach in. Okay? This is what a lot of women in the old days used to put the kind of dresses where they used to squeeze too much, they look skinny. Eventually they become skinny because the pressure causes their body to become skinny. The problem with that is that it was too tight and a lot of girls suffocated. So you don't put it too tight. Like you probably got tighter than this. So I'm losing weight like you wouldn't believe, but that may be too tight. It has to be halfway, so I want to put it halfway. I ought to have it really loose. You put it on the next one, it'll be too tight. It has to be halfway between the next one and this one. This one is loose, the next one is too tight. So that's all right now. Okay. So you stay in this position, put the stomach in. By keeping the stomach in, whether you're walking, doing any job, or doing breathing exercises, any exercises, it becomes an isometric tension. Isometric tension is the heart of exercise. We know about isometrics. I'm going to have to take my top off so you can see this. Excuse me for this, but they're not going to understand if you're a beginner if I don't do this, so excuse me, but I have to, okay? For the sake of the beginners, okay? So, if the stomach is normal, I'll put the stomach in, it gives an isometric tension here. Okay? You put the legs down, it's putting pressure on the legs and developing the legs. So if you're walking around, you may walk kind of like this. It's putting pressure onto the stomach. And 24/7 if you're doing it apart from sleeping, every time you're up walking around, doing whatever, washing dishes, workforce, whatever, your stomach's going to develop, your whole body is going to develop. But 99% of the stomach is going to develop. Control of breathing is breathing exercise. breathing all the way down here, not just up here. The problem with smokers or people that are in polluted areas is it's not the cigarette. Really, it's not. It is because they smoke that they have learned to inhale the cigarette right down here, and yet the cigarette has weakened the area that they have learned not to breathe proper oxygen down here. If a smoker learns to breathe like he did when he first was born, and when they were young children, all the way down here, it will defeat the purpose of the cigarette. It will destroy the cigarette. The problem with smokers or drug users, like marijuana, is they weaken that area with the smoke, that they cannot breathe here to do what's called in singing or in there's the wrong way of singing, or in exercise, the wrong way of exercise. It's shallow breathing. It's in singing they call it shallow breathing, which is the wrong way of breathing, and they breathe kind of like that here. But the idea is to breathe all the way down here and clean up the system. What goes in, whether we eat or drink, comes out the backside or the front. In the same manner, if polluted air is to be put in, that's no problem as long as you flush it out of your system. You flush out urine through going to the toilet because your body functions that way, and drink stuff for human consumption. As long as it is, you can stop with human consumption, so I give you an effect, coffee, whatever it is, Coca-Cola. Some of it is good, a little bit, but too much can destroy your system. But it's not for human consumption. Organic stuff, natural organic stuff are for human consumption. So food will come out number 2. Water will come out number 1, okay? Water is good for you. It's for human consumption. If Coca-Cola was for human consumption, this would be good for you too, but in actual fact it's not. Too much sugar. Don't know if there's any living being that can eat sugar, but anyway. Good sugar from the fruit that's different, that's for human consumption, something that's different type. It's different. So as then, by saying this, what comes in must come out. So you cannot flush the cigarette smoke out of your lungs because it's not for human consumption. If it was, you'd be able to do that, and you would have no problem. It cannot come from number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Therefore, you have to flush it out some other one. So what you do, and this is what you do if you're not a smoker, but especially if you're a smoker, you've got to do this. You stand in this position and come in, and breathe right out. Right out. The moment you breathe in, all the good air that comes coming into the system comes in, and you may cough it out, but blue the air will back out. Or you may breathe it out. Comes in, the good air, out the bad air. So that way, the tobacco stains, the coffee, whatever, because it's not into your lungs, oxygen goes through your whole body. Okay, poisonous substance, whatever, gets flushed out. And the body will function correctly, that it would work, that it will come out from number 1, 2, and 3 as well. A lot of it in different ways will flush it out. But if it doesn't flush it out because you're doing shallow breathing, it remains here and all mold starts to happen. It's like something, I don't know, it's like this. Like chicken and shit on it. I didn't realise there's like in here. If you notice this, look at this. Look at this. I didn't notice that because that was my hand. Look, that's all mold. Because that hasn't been cleaned, that mold starts to become that big. You know, bigger because of how many times you shit on it. If that's in your lungs, it's going to destroy it. But if you clean that out, it's not there anymore. You may have stain, but it's not good. It's the same thing it's the same thing with smoke, because things like that, but not chicken shit, because tar, nicotine, whatever, so you've got to flush, you've got to clean it. It works with water intake, pure water, pure oxygen. You send the oxygen and the water through the bloodstream. The water will go automatically, but without the oxygen, it's not going to do much. It's on its own, but with oxygen, you have double the health. With healthy food, you'll have triple the health. And with healthy water intakes, healthy drinks, fruit and vegetables, whatever, or vitamins, will clean it out. It has to have everything to be balanced. It can't just have all of that except one, because it's not a balance. It has to have everything balanced. All proper healthy drinks, proper fruits, proper food as a balanced diet is concerned, in the healthy side of it, okay? Plenty of oxygen, plenty of whatever you need for this system, what else is there, whatever there is, I'll think about it, okay? There's something else, okay? So you bring in and out. It's just a classical way that it's probably never been used in combat, but this is what cleans up the system. It may never be used in combat, and its purpose is for health reasons rather than combat. you can actually learn how to adjust to find the right way of combat that way. But not necessarily that you use these methods for combat. You just use this method to work out the real combat. Training is different than real combat. In the same manner, this is mainly used to clean up the system. Slow moves like Tai Chi, or stand. You don't have to accelerate that far. I just showed you what you don't have to do. Just come in little steps, okay? Comfortable walking pace. And breathe right down and right out. Let that belly right out. And just what comes in must come out. If it doesn't come out, it's in there. Or more bell builds up, as in tar, multiple tar and car and whatever. And it goes off. And when it goes off, you get cancer, heart attacks, whatever. Just talk to the doctor. Okay, that's what I do in clean up my system. I'm actually a smoker, not a heavy smoker. I still have my habit going to 60 or 70 a day because I start from a very young age. My habit always goes under 20 most of the time, even under 15 or even under 10, depends on the day. So instead of going up, I always drop it and come down. I don't smoke anything else other than cigarettes, mind you, and a little bit of coffee, but a little bit more than a little bit of coffee, but anyway. But I flush it out. I've been to the doctor 2 times. 2 times I've been to the doctor. The last time was about 7 years ago. The doctor could not believe I'm smoking. He said, what are you doing? I said, I couldn't even explain to him. He almost kicked me out because he wouldn't believe that I'm a smoker. I smoke. I smoke. Wait here for a minute. I don't feel like a cigarette now, but I don't have much to show you. Look, we smoke. I'm not lying. I do smoke. And I'm in top condition. Better than any fitness I have. Better. Not worse. I make coffee. What comes in? What comes in is now. So what happens is when it comes out, I don't cough because I've got a smoker's cough in the sense of unhealthy. I cough because I'm healthy. And because my system did not accept the cigarette. I'm an addict to the cigarettes, but it comes out of my system pretty quickly. Once it's out pretty quickly, within seconds, from breathing exercise, for example, is one way of doing it. Then usually, when it comes in, it's like starting again, except that I'm an addict, and this time I'm not a beginner. So I need to smoke. But it's like starting again, and the system's not accepting, so I end up coughing. I want to cough it out, which is actually good, because it coughs out all the shit. But if I get used to it and don't do the exercises, I will not cough for this reason. I will cough for the other reason of being ill. You see? And that will be bad for you. Just like there's good fat and bad fat, as in oil or whatever. And so are good things in life and bad things in life. So is a good life. The reason why I smoke is this is one of the bigger. In Asia, masters might do that. Not all of them. A lot of them use coffee. Some of them don't even use coffee. They use maybe carrot juice. They're able to use that. Children don't use a smoking habit. Try it with carrot juice. But to some rare cases like myself, this does me good, not bad. People will find that hard to believe. The reason being is because if you look at my lifestyle, I'm walking around doing things even when I'm not. Even now, that I'm on my rest period, I'm filming something, I'm talking, I'm using my vocal cord when I'm supposed to be resting. And if you notice me, I'm walking around and can't sit still. Very rarely I sit still. The old-fashioned Greeks, Previous made a statement years ago saying that the cigarette rests you. Today, scientists say this is not the case. Cigarettes do not rest you. Scientists are right, but so are the Greeks. What the Greeks meant in the old translation is not that the cigarette rests you. It means that by smoking and actually taking the time to sit down, even then I can't sit down most of the time, and would actually rest. 1, 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depending upon the cigarette. So the actual cigarette now, because of this, because I will not rest there for any other reason. Not for carrot juice, not for this or that. Sometimes I may, sometimes I do that, but not in rare occasions. I used to do it like the younger days. But I will do that before I coffee and a cigarette. I will take the time sometimes. Sometimes I won't even do that. Sometimes I will take the time to sit down and just rest. In training, you need rest as well as hard training. It goes both ways. You need everything in the balanced way of work. You cannot move the way I move 16 hours a day, shoving me out there. And I'm talking about hard work. And sometimes during the night straight after that, without any sleep and survive, you will die. So the cigarette for me not for you, but for me it does me well, because it makes me rest for 5 minutes every hour or every 20 minutes. The actual rest, not the cigarette that makes me rest, but because I smoke and drink coffee, I would want to sit down and have a rest. Otherwise, you'll never get me sitting down. You'll never get me sitting. In most cases, sometimes I do sit down, but in most cases, I will not sit down. If I do, I'm feeling around with my thumbs like this. I've got to keep going. I'm hyperactive in the sense of the good life. I've been trained. I'm very fit. I'm that fit. I can work in the farm, shoveling. I'm talking about hardwood. If you shovel the ground for 16 hours for 3 months straight, 7 days a week, and I only slept at night, you will know what physical fitness is. I don't do that a lot. I don't do it all the time. After 3 months on my restaurant, from that work, I do something else. You see, which is just as hard or easy. If I'm not doing physical work, that's one time that I do rest. I'm always snacking doing that. I might do computers. I might not be training physically, but I'm training the mind. Doing physical, mental work. It's still, the mind still needs rest as much as the body. So by me having a cigarette, the actual sitting down, listening. So for me, this is a secret in Asia. For me, very, very rare cases is that the cigarette is actually good for me. For me, not for you necessarily, unless you're in that rare case. Because this can also be done with carrot juice. You don't have to have a cigarette, you can sit down and have a carrot juice. But for me, I'm never going to do that with carrot juice. In rare cases, I might. If I have a carrot juice, I have to have a smoke in my hand. Even water that goes contrary to the cigarette, I have to have a cigarette in my hand. Anything that I drink, I have to have a cigarette. Can't drink anything without a cigarette. Today I am because I'm talking to you. But I've got my coffee right there ready. So unless I have some coffee, I'm not going to continue smoking these. I'll probably butter it out. I wasn't going to have a cigarette, but I'm just saying. This is very, very rare cases, okay? Because I clean it out. If you clean it out, it's very bad for me. But I take the time to clean it out. I'm actually fitter than most people that do marathons. I can work in the ground. I might film them. If I get a camera that can film 16 hours and show you. I'll do it for 3 months, and you see the camera going for 3 months straight. And other than sleeping at night, I will be working up there. Sometimes I'll work at nights in the farm, on my computer. So people might find that odd to believe, but this is a hidden mystery in Asia. A lot of Asians may use marijuana for that. It works better with that. But then I do it like once a week. I don't use marijuana because I'm totally against drugs, even cigarettes. But I use cigarettes. In very rare cases, they can use cigarettes. Okay, it's actually the marijuana that does that because it helps it, knocks them out after the week is over and they get a decent sleep. Otherwise, they'll die. So they need it. Sleep. Me, I can use a cigarette because I can do that, but not necessarily everybody can do that with a cigarette. It's more rare. In most cases, they use marijuana, but that's a different issue. In most cases, marijuana and cigarettes and coffee are legal and should never be used or treated in any way. Children stay off it. Use a carrot juice. Don't even use coffee. If you're an adult and you get in a rare case, I will understand, and I think the law would too. But you know, that's a rare case. Okay? So we continue this soon. This is home training 2, and we're going to see if we can shoot this. Okay. So as then, in the street or in the home, there's the floor. You can do flexibility, which we might show you some we might show some flexible movement sooner or later. If you look into my writings in my videos, that is, I have got some things on flexibility. We might do some today, we'll see. There's also running, the king of all exercise. You can start by walking, gradually increase the speed to jogging, and then running. You've got to get used to this. Okay, you may be used to it from school if you continue, but if you stop for a while, you might have to start again. There's other type of exercises. So as to continue from the previous state, you may sit here okay, and bring the weight here, okay. This is home equipment. Of course, there's equipment in the gym if you've got money for that sort of thing. If you have it, you can use this. You have pretty much balance. You don't want to drop this on your feet or roll this really far back to your knees or something like that. Or as it's leaning on one side, you've got to be aware mentally to move it back so the weight is balanced evenly on the feet and it doesn't go flying on one side and break your leg, you see. Because these are dangerous homemade equipment, but it's pretty safe if you've got balance and control in what you're doing. It's 100% safe, as you can see, and then you can just drop it on the ground like this. Okay, well now, okay. And you do this as many as you want, which gives you more weight on the legs. As continuing, you can use something where you can stand, like with the feet like here. I'm going to try it here, but you probably can do it here. We'll see if it works. You stand here. You do the calf here for quick as you can find. That's why you need balance and maintain the legs. See if they can move. You've got to control it back up, see? And make sure it doesn't, you don't go flying and break your leg. On an angle. That's why you need balance and that's not going to start. So you don't kill yourself. As you can see, that moved. And the first time it moved unexpectedly, but I controlled it back up because the balance goes with control. So when you're doing any exercise with the feet, you can, like that one, you can have it on a ground fire way, so you can maybe see it from the camera. For example, on a 45-degree angle this way, if you do them straight, you can do that one. Okay? So your feet are kind of like in, straight and out. To build right around the muscle. Okay, you can have weights as I have today on your feet. You can have boots in the army. We use boots, not runners. Any soldier in the battlefield wearing runners. The first sign of water, rain, and the sun. You can get a cold, you can be out of water, pretty easy. And a soldier that's ill cannot really function correctly. Boots, proper clothing will protect you. Boots, I go with running, but I use runners too because we went in the army. But I use boots too for that extra weight. They weigh a lot, not a lot, but a lot more than runners. They give you that extra muscle development and put weights on your ankles. As I said in the previous tape, you can use this. I haven't tried it without holding on, but you probably do it without holding on. See, we can have the weights on your feet, see? And put extra weight. So you're carrying your whole body plus the weight on your feet. Try to do it this way. And this will develop the calves. Come this way, you can move your feet on 45 degrees. Just be careful you don't fall off the sides. And do as many as 50 or as many as you can do. On the other side, you come this way. You can then, obviously, have to have balance if you're not holding on. So that's the wall to master, but you can do it the other side. Develop the front side of the calves. Here, the shin of this. So of course, you can go up on a 45 degrees angle. And this way, to move right around the muscle on the other side. And that's the front of the calf. That is, which is the shin, the back of the calf. From there, you make your squats. And you make your squats. And you balance for this one coming this way. Okay, and you may do as many as 50 or whatever if you're not using weight. You can use weights on your shoulders that come this way. Okay, and put extra pressure. If you turn that way, come this way. Go right around the muscle and of course the other way. You do the same thing with legs slightly out to oscillate different areas of the muscles of the legs. And in. And you can do it 4 stands. Now before we continue this exercise, I'll show you the proper way of lifting. We'll keep it simple and use a light chair, pretty light. Okay, so you can see it. Okay. In the workforce, they will teach you to lift this, something like this, and straight up, okay? Or more to the point, you get a better grip. Okay? But I use a little bit of flexibility to pick that, not to the full bar. So that's the way you do it. when you're strong for the workforce and haven't got much flexibility, or you may have and you may use that method. But like a piece of wood or a tree that is very strong, and whether you are or aren't is not relevant, but whether you are or aren't, your muscles can break very easily in your back if done a sudden move suddenly in the wrong way. Like a tree, the wind comes and smashes it. Even though it's the strongest thing that's a living thing, most trees aren't. It can be pulled off the roots and it can actually break the tree, the wind. But a bamboo cannot be snapped. If you're not flexible, you don't use the snap method because you're in a tree category and you're not flexible and you will damage your body. But if you're flexible, you can use the horse stands. If you can do the split like I can, it means you're flexible. It means that you can use this, not if you're not flexible, because you're solid, maybe like a tree, even if you're not flexible like elasticity. A bamboo tree cannot be snapped with the wind. When the wind comes, it just bends. That's the same thing with the human body. It cannot be snapped. The muscles cannot break easy when you're flexible. They still can, but not easy. So by coming this way in a horse stance, when you're flexible, you can do the splits, you can pick it up. Same principle, except you're using the weight on your legs rather than your back. Adding this principle of bodybuilding, develop all the muscles in your body, and as well as the forearms is important for the workforce, and the grip and the hand. You now, instead of lifting this way, you're putting the pressure on the legs only, without putting any pressure on the back. You put it onto the forearms, and the pressure is still going onto the legs, and the forearms, and the fingers and palms. So that way you're not putting any weight whatsoever onto your back. The weight is going onto the forearms, the palms, but they've got to be well developed. If you look at my fingers, they're well developed. If they're not well developed, you're going to cause an injury. But it's better than breaking the back. It's like a hawk, the grip of a hawk. Hawks can lift any object. In martial arts, power comes from the whole body, not just the arm, but we're talking about the workforce here. For example, a heavy object, as you can see here, will come this way, putting pressure onto the forearms and on top of the neck, rather than the back. But you've got to be flexible, strong-minded, and fit. So as you can see, and come in, the pressure is not going, it's hardly going to the back, very little weight on the back. It's going from my forearms and my legs. And still using the same principle of lifting this one, except using the horse stands. With the pressure onto the legs and the arms. Horse stands I don't recommend in combat, but in the workforce it's unreal. Okay? So we might move on to other videos because I haven't got time. And this video doesn't shoot too long, I have to delete it and shoot another one. Once it's uploaded, the camera, so we'll stop now and continue soon. Greetings. We're going to talk about homemade equipment here. You can purchase a bench like this professionally if you've got the money, or you can just make one. Make sure it's strong and you know how to build it strong, because you don't want to collapse in while you're doing weights or exercises even without weights. And even without weights, if this collapses and you hit the ground, you can injure yourself. With weights, it can become even more deadly, and the heavier they are, the more deadly. So it's got to be built pretty strong. Without the weights here that you see, just with the bench here and the floor, you can do just about every exercise in bodybuilding. Yeah. Okay, of course, you will also need something like, of course, there's a lot of things in the way here, I can't get to it today, but something like that up there, as you can see, there's a bar there. I don't know if the camera can pick it. It's right, where is it? Right there, okay? There's a bar there, okay, where you can do chin-ups. You will probably need one of that for the lats. Don't know if there's any exercise that you can do without that, but there is, but you need weights or without weights. You can actually do them without weights, but there's not much heavy, not much pressure given to the weights. You can also use isometrics for that, which is pretty good without the barbell, which I'll explain in a minute. So with this, you can lay on the bench. You got to look into bodybuilding to understand how to do it. You can use without weights and do it faster, or with lighter weights and do it faster. You can actually increase the weight with more weight as much as you need to. Of course, start with light weights and increase the weight. You can eventually go into heavy weights. But even without weights, you can use this and do exercise. Just like you do bodybuilding, you can do exercises. Look into bodybuilding without the weights. Of course, you're not going to get big, but you're going to get very cut. Especially if you're doing it for very fast. You start slow and gradually increase the speed. Eventually, you might go into the light weights, the pink ones down there. Eventually, you may get a little bit heavier if you haven't got, if you've got a bit of money to spend on weights, and you use this, and you can maybe use it for the arms or whatever you're doing on the bench press for the chest. Okay, you can sit on the edge of the table, for example. You can get something like this box. Okay, because the reason being is because the floor's in the way, and you're not going to be able to the floor's going to get in the way when you move your legs. So you sit on that down there, and of course your legs are down here, and you lift them up and down, which develops this area. You put your legs out, in, and straight, which develops this area, and this area, and behind as well, in 3 different places, the sides, whatever, around the muscles of the leg, which is very important because the legs carry the body. You can use a doorway here, okay, over here. Use your imagination here. You can open the door, of course, okay, and you can stand there with the door open. That is here. The door's closed now, but supposed to say it's open. You open it, okay. You can stand here, hold on to the side of the door. You can't see here. There's not let me just open the light for a minute. There's no light in here, okay. You can stand here, as you can see, and do for calves, and of course you can move your legs on an angle 45 and in and straight, and work around the muscle of the calves. Just by home equipment, you can develop muscle of the body, well, all the body, especially the big muscles. I'm not sure if it's all the muscles, but most muscles. If you've got equipment like this, I was lucky to find this actually. Someone threw it away, I don't know why. Something like that, you can maybe hold on here, or maybe on a bar or something, go in here, and the same thing is done here, okay, where you come up and down like a stairway, kind of a similar thing, where this develops the front of the calf, because of the position that it is. If you turn this material around, it's just, the same thing as what we did before on the doorway, but it's like the stairway sort of thing, and develops the calves, okay. Of course, you can put your feet on an angle. I've never tried it that way, but you can. Okay, be careful you don't slip, and you can do it on another angle slightly and work around the calf. You can also do the same thing for the forward. Be careful you don't fall off it. You've got to have balance. Okay, with this movement, for example, I don't know if I can do it with one hand, but we'll try. I need to hold the weights with one hand to show you. You sit on the bench that I showed you before, which is this one here. Okay, and what you do, if you've got these weights, that is, weights, homemade weights or bought weights, and I can't do this. I've never done this before because I can't reach down. Okay, so what you do is you put the weight down, for example. Take this off because you can't do this. I've never done it this way, except this way. And you sit down on the stool, put the weights here. You've got to be careful. You've got to have pretty good balance to do this. It's home equipment, and you come this way. Okay, stretch your legs out, and you come this way, and balance the weight this way, and you just do the exercises. Okay, and then you fell there because the bench nearly went somersault. That's where you have to have a lot of balance so it doesn't happen. So I've got to go more in so it doesn't tilt over. You come up this way. Be careful you don't damage yourself. You've got to have pretty good balance and alertness to do this. Okay, and you just massaging the leg and actually doing more weights for the leg area. Okay, so as then if you've got the equipment, but you don't need to, you can do it without that. Okay, you can lay on the bench, look into bodybuilding, and use all the weights or without weights to do the chest. So we develop the legs, the calves, and the chest here, with or without weights. Okay. Next thing you know, you can do squats. For here for the legs, come right down. For the legs, coming right down this way. For the legs, you can put your legs this way, work around the area of the leg and in this way. And of course, you can go do the same thing all 3 ways. Legs out, and of course horse stance, where you come this way, so on. You don't really need equipment for most of these exercises. For all of them, it's just that with equipment like weights, we'll build more muscle. That's all. No weights will make you more cut and less muscle, and it takes longer to develop big. For example, so we've done a chest, stomach. People have seen people do floor stomach exercise. You can sit on the floor and you can do sit-ups, both for the upper body and lower body. By putting your legs up this way, develops the lower part of the stomach. Coming up down this way, with normal sit-ups is the top part and the sides of the sides. Okay, both the legs up and body up. You can also combine it by sitting and going up and down at the same time, if you know how to do that one, and develop the lower and upper part as well. Of course, these exercises develop all the stomach area, but if you do sit-ups the way you've seen it, it targets more of the upper part of the stomach, whereas coming up from the ground with the legs targets the lower part of the stomach, where everybody wants to lose that. So then, that's your stomach, that's your chest, that's your legs. Lats can be done simply, I'll have to turn the camera here, simply with both hands by bending over and coming this way, with or without weights. And you can come this way and this way, and on a 45, and target right around the area. You might have to do as much as 200 or so many thousands of reps if you've got no weights, but it conditions the fitness, pretty much all these exercises without weights too. But with weights, it will just build more muscle, okay, depending upon how heavy it is and etc. So you've got your lats, and of course you can use weights like this. You just simply bend your legs, make sure your back is straight, and you hold that with both hands, and you lift it and you come up this way, and you do it that way. You can do it with these weights as well, as you might have seen me do it. The same thing that I showed you without the weights, but with the weights added, okay? What I showed you before, keep your back straight, and on an arch, what I do is I lean my backside against the wall to keep it steady. Find a comfortable place for you. So that's your lats, that's your legs, your calves, your chest and your stomach. Shoulders can be developed easy without weights, simply by doing a handstand. You can try by putting your feet against the wall and going up and down with your hands. You develop the chest. Of course, you can put your hands in, medium, and out to get a bigger grip. For example, push-ups can be used for the chest, okay, which we didn't mention that one. By putting your hands in, develop the inside of the chest, middle side, both hands that is, will develop, will centralize the body, and out will bring the chest more out. So as other exercises, if you keep the principle of in, medium, and out, will develop the whole muscle area of the body. For push-ups, you can probably go on a thing like this, long as it's steady. This is not steady, so I'm not going to do it here. Okay, you can hold it with both hands here if it's steady, and come this way and develop the chest, and also putting your feet up here and going the other way will develop the chest. For example, on a stairway, you use different heights from the stairway and you have right around the chest. You can put your hands in, medium, or out, okay, to get a wider grip, medium or smaller grip, both up, down, and on the floor. That would target the chest right around the area of the chest, okay, in all these exercises, okay. So as then, I'll show you how to do that with push-ups. You've got sit-ups, you've got chin-ups, okay. You can use a chin-up bar. You've probably seen that in the gym. If not, look into it. You can do your chin-ups. You do it with your hands in this way to target mostly the lower part of the lat, okay. Okay, the lower part of the lat, but it still does the top part. You can have a wider grip for the top part. You can do it behind the neck and forward to get the front and the back of the lat, okay. For chin-ups, it's very much the same as what I showed you there with the weights when you bend down and come this way, okay? So we covered the lats, the shoulders, all the muscles in the body. Arms can be easily done simply by, when you're doing push-ups, it develops also the back of the arm, this area here, okay? The back of the arm over here in this area. If you put instead of putting your hands this way, if you put the hands this way, it will develop also the arms area. Forearms, little muscles will always be developed to a certain degree, but they'll never get good development unless you've got equipment like this, little equipment like this, which I've shown you how to use that. I'll show you one day, okay, which targets on little muscles to develop. Of course, you can develop them with heavy weights as well, because people don't understand how to do that. It's very simple. What you do is, for example, in bodybuilding, if you were to do push-ups, This is the same thing with every other exercise. You may be able to do 10 push-ups, and you push yourself 2 extra push-ups when you first begin. The 2 are the actual ones that build you. Now what you do is, with many workouts and get very good with it, you don't go to 12 push-ups a set of 3. You may do 20 push-ups of a set of 3. But with the exception, the 8 is pushing yourself to the more and more, eventually to 30, 40, 50, increase the reps. But the ones that you increase, say 10 or 20 that you increase, you're struggling to do that. So what happens is, it's called cheating in bodybuilding. For example, if I was to do this before I do the 10 or 12 reps that I can actually do without cheating, this will be cheating. But if you do it this way, it's not actually cheating, but it's called that. That's what I call it. For example, in cheating, when you're doing push-ups, you're using your whole body, every muscle in the body, which defies the purpose of the push-up. Because the push-up is meant to develop the chest. So what you've got to do is, you do it that way when you begin to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it will automatically adjust to using the chest muscles. As the chest muscles develop the chest, so is the lats for the lats, so is the stomach for the stomach, and so on. Every muscle has got its own exercise. It still develops every other muscle though. So what it basically means is, when you've done your 12 and it's too difficult to use your chest muscles for push-ups or your lat muscles for lats, you cheat and you use as many muscles as you can until you do so many reps that you're using your whole body, as well as then all the muscles are put in play, as well as then the little muscles come in play. But that's once you reach about 100 reps or whatever, 10, 20, whatever you can do. So by doing those extra reps, and even in heavyweights, well, in heavyweights it's difficult because it's too heavy for you. But with lightweights, for example, or your own body weight, for example, in push-ups and that, okay, it will actually go beyond the point of developing big muscles, but it will start developing medium muscles and little muscles when you do those extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 reps. When they're difficult, not when they're easy. Because it may be easy for you to do that. But once you reach past that, say you can do 50 easy, you've got to do 100. See? You've got to push yourself 50 extra. You've got to condition yourself for that level, and you've got to have the muscle stamina to do that. It takes many years of practice to be able to do that. You can't just do that straight away. You collapse. You end up in hospital. You've got to build up the stamina and the strength and the... Okay, so in this lesson, concerning the previous video, what was I going to say? What were we talking about? The blindfold, okay. I told you that it's trusting God, and there was a reason behind it to teach you. God doesn't give you this power for any other reason other than if there's a reason. For example, I need to defend myself. So now I have to learn exactly what God is saying in how to put that to practice. I still trust God. That doesn't necessarily mean God will answer my prayer today. It's very difficult to do if He doesn't. It means that He's teaching me how to apply that and skill me out according to what He's showing me how to do it in order to learn to do it for myself and coordinate with God. So He may answer now, He may not. And this is the video after that. Okay, I don't know. It's up to Him. You saw the demonstration. I don't have to do that. It's going through the thing anyway. Don't worry about this. I don't smoke. I just play around with it. I might smoke a bit. Okay, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm that big that this doesn't bother me. Anyway, it's the only issue. But I mean, I just smoke like now. Not huge. Not sometimes. There's something I just like to inhale it. But I mean, that habit. I use a habit anyway. So I always am honest. If I feel like a cigarette, if I come to the camera, I'll have it. I don't beat behind the bush and tell people I'm a health fanatic and smoke, or fitness and smoke. I ain't, and I'm happy. You know, the doctor can't believe that I smoke. Yeah, but I'm not going to lie to you that I don't smoke. And he's saying to me that I don't smoke, and you do. So, if I don't have one in the car, it's because I don't want one. But I smoke very little. Sometimes goes up a bit, then it cuts down. Anyway, children don't pick up this to the habit. Learn the good things of the things that God wants you to learn. And in this case, you see someone doing this, learn, pick up, have done to do that. Learn how not to do that. In this case, but anyway. Okay, so. So you learn from people that do the correct thing, their correct thing, because what problems. So because problems in certain ways, then learn how not to do that. You don't pick up other people's habits just because they got it, in other words. And you certainly pick up the habits from God if they're correct to do so. Well, okay. Okay, so come in here. Where is it? Okay. Okay, I see it now. Okay. I can't breathe in this thing. Got my breath. No, well, not really, but still can't breathe. Slippery. What's on the ground? Something slippery there. Where is it now? Lost it. Okay, it should be there. Okay. So as I explained previously, you can see there, not clearly, because I can't see writings properly. I can see clearly during the day and the night, mind you. I can see clearly right each day during the night, like I said, but not necessarily writings. Even during the day, I can see writings and things like that. Night conditioning is very much difficult. Very easy to capture. I might speak about that soon. How that this is practiced and kept it very overnight. I'm not sure if I had that, this. So I was totally, not totally solid. I was about 60% blinded then. Plus, I had problems with seeing writings. But so now we're going to blind ourselves totally. As you can see, it's a thicker layer. Okay, as you can see, it's directly in my eyes. Oh shit! I better check where I am. Okay. So we're here, you know, at the feet. Like I said, don't stop your answer. Bring him. He's already taught you that. I've already demonstrated there, but he may. So to be blind. This time, with the feet. So in this film, I'm going to explain to you how this works. You talk to a blind man, they understand all of this, but it doesn't seem mean it's the right kind of spiritual vision to see these objects. I told you I'm blinded totally and I do not blind. I'm talking about the natural, what we see here. That is not before when I had it covered like this, but when I put it around thinking, I could not see it at all in the natural. But spiritually there is vision as in night vision, which means all you see is pitch darkness, just like the natural vision, but you are able to know exactly where they are, the locations where they are by memory. I understand that way. Through the following this basic principle. As you get better, it becomes more complicated, more difficult, of course, more answers given by God, and you have to actually see the spiritual eye, totally. It's darkness. This is not possible because I've been sent to heaven to extend everybody to keep ahead, to find the light. It's like traveling in space, for example. I'm not sure exactly how it is. I'm trusting God on it. Okay? So it's like, for instance, space. For example, one of the stars came down the same it's one of the stars, and everyone doesn't know which one it is. You can see the lights, no problem. Because in darkness they shine. But which light is it? You're going to spend eternity looking for it and going to jigsaw puzzles and maze. You may be lucky to find it. If you do, you ain't to me. God will accept, but if you don't, any stuff, I'm not saying it's like that, I'm just giving an example because I don't know. God has to reveal how. I'm just trusting him. So as then, he wants me to accept people to the heaven that we meet Jesus in the air. It's God using the Holy Spirit to still be deep. The Saviour just wants me to get everybody with me to follow him. Okay, so as many as I can. Okay, so in short, it's better that we all have that vision. God can say, do that in your man. We don't have his authority. I can help you have that vision. Okay, then it's worth looking for the correct light. And when we find the correct light, we make a decision which one is the correct one, and you go there. You can go to the wrong one, it could be there, right? And go to the one that leads to eternal life. Jesus confirms that. Okay? He says, many roads lead to destruction. He says, evil spirits come to you as angels of light. Yet they are darkness. It says, many are in sheep's clothing. You get their inside full of wolves, when they're the wolves. If these targets were related to space, like planets, or in this case, evil spirits that cannot be seen, as always says, be invincible, just like God is. Okay? Just like God is, yet God is more invincible than them, more powerful. And then those evil spirits are more powerful than us, but not more powerful than God. What you saw there in this demonstration tells you that if these were evil spirits, I was able to see them in the spiritual eye. In the lesser training, the more training becomes more difficult. I don't have to train for it. Nevertheless, it will be accomplished. The reason why evil spirits are more strong in the first is because we can't see them, and what we can't fight what we can't see, I can actually see them. I can see them all over the place. The battle's won, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay? So evil spirits attack again in other parts of the cosmos where, I don't know, God just thinks one. And so it's easier to me many times, and it's just me quite young. But there's always the new evil spirits. Don't know the answer, I'm just trusting God on it. Maybe he's testing, but anyway. So now we're going to make this hard, and I'll explain how you do it. You pick 3 targets, or pick 3 targets to start off with, to make it See, difficult. We look at the location, I'm saying the center of this one. Balance out to this one, so it's a bit closer than that one. The distance, we cover our eyes, and we've got to know what the distance is. So we go close to this one, and know the exact distance between here and there. So you're memorising this in your memory, seeing that in remembrance rather than in visual. This is a spiritual vision, okay? So you get, it's not just going to be in a day scene if you know how to do it properly. Okay, so it doesn't mean okay. Just like I had to have practice these when I could see, and it took me a long time to get them right. When I first started, I couldn't hit them. But now I hit it perfectly. This is how I have to practice the spiritual vision to get it perfect. I'm not sure how many lessons I have because I have had some in the natural. I just have to relate it to here. So as I'm trying this, it's harder to do because I'm talking. You're not supposed to do this, but I'll end up doing it. Okay, so I'm still memorizing the map in my head, exactly the angle. And I'll make this a little bit different. So I know that the angle is somewhere there. So we're going to go here, we'll take one step, two steps. Usually we do that faster. We reverse that and try to get it accurately. Eventually we may, if we haven't, now we're straight. As you can see, it's very difficult to do. Okay, we're trying to correct the problem. Too difficult. I probably won't hit the next one. Okay, too difficult. Remain in here, I'm out. I didn't say we'll get it this time, so I have to practice it. Okay, so repeat that. Very difficult to see the spiritual vision in a sense of time and accuracy because it's darkness. There's no light there. The light is different to understand. It's not seeable. It can only be seeable spiritually. We have natural vision, not spiritual. So like the natural vision, I have to practice to get it right. I still have to practice to make many lessons. We could happen straight away, got into spread. And we see what it does. Okay, so we'll put it, we might go a little bit closer. And try it that way. If we miss, I'll usually aim from here. You maintain it, aim here. So if we miss it there, we're going to maybe get to here and see what happens. Maybe at least get this one, possibly. So it'll be closer now. Actually, we won't do that. We should be trying to, I love the feet, that's one thing we should be trying. The hands first. We haven't tried the hands first. Problem. Okay. Let's try the hands first. Okay. Here. So we'll do one example now. Okay. Now I'm going to be quiet because I'm going to lose it if I don't, and I may still do so. So I may need practices for this one to actually get it right vision, as in timing and accuracy is concerning the spiritual, not in the natural, but in the spiritual it has to be done now. So I did that there, okay. Just got to go 1 or 2. 1, 2. Oh, I missed that one. I missed that one. Or did I hit it? Why is it moving? Well, I missed it. The wind must have moved, but I hit that one. So if that was related to combat, I would have been killed by these two. Possibly this one, but I don't think I hit that. I didn't feel it anyway. Maybe my clothes hit it. But anyways. Okay. So then, we try again. Let's check the time. Okay. So now we might go on to a bit really more easier now. I'm not easy to take it too far away in distance. Okay, here. Okay. As you can see, blindfolded. Where am I? Okay. See, perfectly done that way. Okay, put myself out of distance, and put myself in distance. Saw that in spiritual this time, timed it actively. The power of God. Even in pitch darkness, Jesus says He's the light that cometh amongst the shadows of death, meaning darkness, but shines the light. The power and authority I've got from Him, He gives me His gift. Okay. Now we'll try it with the hook work. We'll try the opposite way. The belt out my way. The body of the pencil come here. Christ, that's a bit too far now. Oh, gee. Okay, so there's one and two. We'll try again. See how much more we've got. Pity of you know. If I only knew where I missed it, you can't see us from still home. I've got it's darkness and it's very hard. You can't see anything else. We haven't got split vision the way you think. That is if you haven't understood me. I rest my case. Now this will get harder. As it gets more harder, we can miss more often until we master it. Anyway. So we'll just muck around and watch the difference now in everything, now that I can actually see the natural and use the spirit and mind as well as the natural to coordinate with God. What's the difference? So we'll try something completely new that I only tried a few times. So we're trying combinations rather than, waiting a few seconds for single techniques, okay? Much more difficult because much harder for time. So we're doing two combinations now. Much more difficult because you've got bang bang. I've done it a few times. Maybe with bigger targets. Now we're into combinations. Start with the basics. One technique at a time. Is equal to eventually work your way to combinations. Try two combinations first, add a third one or fourth one if you think you're going to go down. If not, go back to two combinations. It's too difficult to go back to one technique, eventually work to two combinations. I haven't really worked with combinations with this movement much because it's really difficult. You have to master this. Basics, single techniques. Why am I missing here? Well, that's the problem. Even day vision can actually make you miss. That's when you do something new. The reason being was I was too excited, overconfident. It's now I'm overconfident. Okay, relax me. Too tense and all this before, now I'm more relaxed. Just a little bit tense, you know, not much. Before, that's enough to put you out. You gotta be totally relaxed. Hey, this is fun like this. I've got to look for the camera to do this. This is funny. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Yeah, got the camera. That's funny. Cameraman doing this. Oh man, I can't get this because I've got to look at the camera. Shit. It's the first time I'm attempting this with the camera. Okay, let's do this properly now. I have to look at the camera and try to hit that at the same time, you see. I wonder if this looks good on film. We'll see. Oh man. Oh man, hit the camera again. Very smooth, I came straight for the camera. It's funny this. Oh man, missed that one. Very hard to do, looking at the camera and trying to hit that ball. Oh man, hit the camera again. Oh, yeah, man. That's funny. Oh, man, I almost hit me that. Anyway. So as you can see with this camera, so with this ball, you have to be pinpoint, see, as it's coming. So if you're that ball, see, according to my other videos, when you look at me and you're filming me, you're actually at a distance and you can see what I'm doing. But if you were that ball now and aim the camera, this is how you're going to see my hand. I'll show you. Okay? Because the only thing you can, since we're close now, at a close distance, you can't see everything else from a distance. You can't view it like a film, you have to view it in reality. Much more faster, and much more demanding. Okay? So what appears to be a lot slower on film, in what I showed you now, is much faster. Because where you are with that ball is, for example, you're standing in this position. That's what you're going to see is my hand here. You're not going to see all my body movements unless I reveal that. Because if you're at distance, you can see much easier, much clearer. You cover more ground rather than close quarters. With feet, it's much easier to see when you attack by feet than with hands, because feet are much longer and you've got more distance to see that. Another strategy we'll talk about now. I hope I can catch this on film, because I've been trying to do this for a few times and it just didn't turn out anyway. So, for example, what was I going to say? Continuing from the strategies that I showed you before, okay, on one of the films, I'll repeat a little bit of it so you can understand what I'm saying. You've got the hook, say I'm over there, okay, and I'm throwing a hook like this. Whether I show my opponent to do or whether I come this way, it's still a much more further distance here than what this is here, see? Sit here. So we close quarters or even long top quarters, this is much further out than this. So you put it in this distance, it's much closer than what this is. Sometimes I might put my hand back. So the same thing applies here, I'm pulling the hand back. So suppose I pull the hand back here and on the other side, I see that it comes straight in. Okay? Short distance was on the other side, short distance was much easier. And since I can hit this one, my hand's going to go back and not out. I can hit the right place, the right time. With power, of course. But the same concept applies to the opposite way. Because, for example, if I come in, if I'm here, if I'm coming this way and my opponent is that fast, if you move to the side here and come this way, then the other hand this way. As the hook is concerned. It's going to be much faster that way. As in speed of wisdom, flying feet. The other one is speed of non-calibrating, or short distance speed, but using short distance and movement rather than big movements. And it can be fast in a way, but I mean, as the speed of movement is concerned, that's different types of speed. So, for example, if I can say, going in directions, for example, I'm talking about the fake now, okay, with strategy. For example, opponent may throw a hook, the opponent being able to see it, that's really a fake. So be careful with the fake, because the movement, not the ones that are under or the ones that are next to us, very careful. Perímetro, cabello. So you may throw a hook, but this could be a fake. It's just a beginner, don't like that. As a professional, you've got to be very cautious. He's throwing a fake. So me on the other side thinks that this is the actual attack. So I come in this way, he moves up away this way now. So the punch comes this way, into this distance, and this here, and backfire on me. The actual defensive approach before that would work has now backfired on me because I've got to fake, go the other way out to do. For example, I might come this way, go this way, and I might come this way, and all of a sudden the person blocks or moves up away or ducks, whatever comes into the attack. Okay. Si posso aspettar, nem chiama aqui. Desculpa, que pessoal.
Não tem nada.
Hã?
Tem outra câmera.
E camera, pessoal.
Mas vai.
Cameras anyway. So, for example, the highest technique someone can reach is to have no technique. Basically means, okay, the hands and feet have a brain for themselves. Τους λέω ότι τα χέρια και τα πόδια έχουν μυαλό, εκτός από το μυαλό άμα έχει στάσει σε αυτό το μέρος που έχω. So what this basically means, it doesn't mean there's a brain in it, it just means that if you're that fast, bingo. For example, in training, in martial arts or boxing or wrestling, okay, you can actually have to train, to get to that level, and there may be many thoughts to be able to get to this level I'm talking about in thinking for itself. Because you have to train to get to this level. If you do what I'm telling you, as a beginner, you'll probably be on your ass and your head kicked in because you haven't got any time, any type of speed, any proper technique or no technique, okay? Depends upon what you have to do. And the highest level you can reach is to have no technique, but it applies by practicing technique. So, for example, there may be a person that has 5 thoughts before he actually practices. For example, someone's attacking this punch, he says, what kind of punch it is? I have to recognize it. Well, yes, it's that one. Is that you for a stare? What did my instructor said? What did I read about it? Is that the right move to make? Yes, no, whatever, change direction, whatever. All of a sudden I'm hitting on my arms. Too slow. Another student may be much faster than that and thinking less thoughts or more. If he thinks less thoughts, he will win. If he thinks more, he will lose. But the ultimate fighter would be one that would come this way. If, for example, he's moving around or whatever is happening in combat. And all of a sudden he sees the opening, one thought, straight there. But that thought has to be done accurately. Because if it's not done accurately, with all the requirements of the martial arts, you'll be on your ass dead. But if it's done accurately, you can't lose. You just can't lose. So the only way you have this power is by God. Man cannot reach this power because he has to think with the brain. In other words, God thinks for me and controls my body. Okay? I don't have to think, I can think for myself. Right? Sometimes I do in practice, but I don't have to do in actual combat. Okay? So there's a difference between saying, is this the right punch? Yes, no, whatever, blah, 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 what my instructor said. That's the lesson, yeah, blah, 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 and have all this nonsense in your head. Am I scared? Am I not? You know, should I duck it? Should I block it? And you just respond bang straight into the attack. That's what you should be doing, just respond straight to the attack. But if you do that without any timing or accuracy, for example, if you're out of distance, that's part of it, you're stationary. And if you sit up and do everything right, but you're out of distance, you miss, he's going to come in and hit you, and you've gone down the ground. But if you've got timing and accuracy, you do that bingo, balls off. You hit the target and you score, and you take bingo, not you. That way it doesn't backfire. It's related to things like that, see?
This is my Uncle Petro. Πες κάτι Πέτρο στα ελληνικά άμα θέλεις. He doesn't understand English.
Τι να πω, ό,τι και να πω, έχω κι εγώ κάμερα τέτοια και βλέπω.
Κάτσε, είναι ο ίδιος και δεν σε βλέπω. Τι πες έχεις και εσύ κάμερα τέτοια. Κάτσε, είναι ο ίδιος, δεν βλέπει.
Περίμενε να δω κάτι.
Μην το βάλεις μπροστά, στο φαγκό ρε Πέτρο. Πες κάτι.
Εγώ τι να πω, καλά είμαι, μια χαρά είμαι. Έλα εδώ τώρα εσύ.
Alright, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 parts to this film. The first part is a tryout, which will be blindfolded but not totally in darkness. It's an extra feature that will add to this film, just to warm up the mind before we attempt what I said in the previous film that I'm going to do. Okay? So, like I said in the first video, I can see about 40% here. Okay, I need to practice it a few times first before I get comfortable blindfolded. As I show you now in this film, how God can actually create the impossible. Is it impossible? It can create all things, so nothing was created other than by Him. He creates the fluke, and He can also create the fluke, as you will see. So as I explained, this is skinny. I can now see just on the inside, from here, but not 100%. It's very difficult to still see because, okay, it doesn't mean you're totally blind. I can see maybe 40%. Okay, so I can see clearly now. Okay, that's right there, so I can see that, but I can't see it clearly. It's like distance is not properly measured because you can't see the distance properly. It's like lightning fades away, especially when I can't read writing properly. So I don't know about this is the easy part. This is just a warm up before we do it. So this will be here. So we come. So about 40% blind in combination of fading away kind of thing, because I can't see writings and things like that. I can't see clearly even during the day or the night, but I can see maybe better than everybody during the night as well as the day, but not that type of vision. So it's kind of fading in my eyesight, so it's even harder than what it would be for someone else too. As you can see with a few shots, you're a masterpiece. Okay, so now we'll attempt it this way. No wonder that's what the mistake was before. Okay. So now, if you measure that distance, we should get it right now. That was the major problem, that movement. And because now the distance, if you move this light is big, and I wasn't aware of it, then the distance changes, doesn't it? Okay. So now, my shoulder, now attempt it. God, excuse me for praying all the time, but I said I'm not gonna, but I'm praying for it because like a person can speak to me out. Anyway, you think about thinking this. Okay. So as you can see, total blindness. Okay. God create also the deliberateness in the story. Okay. So we're going to start a subject about the power of God now. There's a lot of things that you have to learn in the martial arts. You learn that at school, okay? You can do that by any instructor. Any martial arts, a good instructor can do martial art as long as you make it work for yourself. It's not whether this art is better than that one. It is whether you make it work for you or not. It takes a lot of hard training. Okay, some arts, for example, we're going to get into the subject before we get to the power of God. For instance, okay, Bruce Lee, who I study on this Jet Kune Do at the moment, and of course I studied many of his books before I did the course, behind the correspondence. Actually said back then in the old days that karate is a system, but he himself knew this mystery. Go back in time, but then getting to do this, all this classical mess, okay, note this. That's not the intention of the original karate guy to do this in combat. Don't think so. I've traced this in history, but you may not be much records in the Asian community, but I have traced it. Don't read that how, but I have traced a few bits and pieces here and there. What it basically means is, by getting to do this, and knowing where the power comes from here, you will not use it in combat. But if you cannot produce power from here, get a solid blow, the actual classical mess, how in the world are you going to free yourself to express yourself in actual combat, to do it in short distance and produce the same power as a ski zone? Bruce talks that training is different to the actual combat. So in training we may do classical missiles, and we may train other ways as well, but in actual combat we're free to express ourselves. So, for example, acrobatic moves, like I said previously, will may never be used in combat, but you will gain a lot of balance from that, and high kicks, if you can keep high jumping and high kicks as well. The low kicks comes with, and of course, you do not have to use kicks in combat. You can actually use boxing or hand techniques, because you're more balanced with two feet now than what you are with one, since you've learned to do that with one foot off the ground, by the way. So you're in balance. So that's the karate method. Other strategies, but now to get to the power of God. The power of God works in such a way that it's beyond anyone's understanding. Never mind. If you have the power of God, and He controls you, He will give you gifts and fruits and with. He will back you up. For instance, I cannot explain the power of God unless God makes it happen that I can explain it. But I can give you an example of what happened to me. I was in Cairns preaching the gospel a long time ago. I had left Melbourne and all the way to Cairns, which is very far in Australia. Look at the map. Now I want to give you the detail, but I was preaching the gospel for 3 days and 2 nights at one point in time, and I had any sleep. And I'm knocked out here, lying on the floor, laying down, okay, on a bench, on a table, sleeping, knocked out. Now, there was a 14-year-old girl, a 17-year-old girl who was with us, they were my best friends. They loved me, I loved them. They were street kids. And I was trying to get them off the drugs and off the prostitution. This satanic person didn't like what I was doing, because for him, he wanted to make money and keep drugs.
Okay, we're going to touch a bit of first of all, we're going to do something a bit maybe different come up. We start just touching a bit like that. Okay, just no power. Want of it. You may set your opponent up. Okay. Maybe stunning, blind him a bit, you know. Maybe a lot faster than that with the other hand, okay, but I'll slow it down. So for example, you may blind him. I put your face in his, your hand in his face at his, bang, knock him out. Strategies of combat is like that. For example, you may poke him in the eye and knock him out. Okay, so you may, for example, I'll do it slow so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, the faster the technique is, the more power the punch out. So if you do it slow too, you have to get power. Okay, so speed and timing is a key factor of power. It's not how big you are, it's how fast you are. There's no use going really slow like this. Okay, it's not going to produce power, no matter how much muscle you got. If you do it fast, it's like a car crashing, or snapping, depending upon how you will perform the technique. But there's a lot of strategies behind the martial arts. For example, Muhammad Ali, if you look at boxing, he may jab. One reason why they do that, a lot of fighters, is because a professional martial artist, very hard to get away with just going one solid punch. That's all right for training to produce power or whatever. But in actual combat, you can do that with beginners. You can just go up and smack and knock them out, no problem, or even advance. Professionals are not going to fall for that very easy. Because what happens is, if I'm in a position like this, for example, and I put my hand back, I'll show you how to read that sign if you're a beginner, okay? If I pull my hand back, what would that tell you in the camera? That I'm about to punch. So it might not be that slow, it might be fast, but you can still see it if you're a professional, okay? You might be able to pick it now, even if you're a beginner, okay? So as the hand pulls down, back, so the person's pulling his hand back this way, okay, on this position, he's pulling his hand back. All I have to do is come from a short distance, back, straight in, without telegraphy.
It's more powerful in a lot of ways. Not all the time. Depends on the situation. Sometimes just walking down the street, if someone attacks just bang from where you are, can knock him out. Like for example, just a common technique. Sometimes technique. But I mean, so for example, if a opponent is here, repeat that. Okay, my opponent is here. He's throwing a hook this way, and he pulls his hand back, or even if it's just a hook, it's got a longer distance. See how distant? I exaggerate the distance so you can see it out here. So if you're short, it's about here. Okay, so you come here and here. That distance is like what? Look, what? Even if you're short, it's what, 2 feet. Whereas if I'm in a position here, well, look here. Okay, position here is like this far away, okay, so I'm here, I'm in a position and it's like this far away, and if I pull my hand back, that telegraphs the movement even more, okay, it depends on how professional you are, okay, but for example, as he pulls a hand back, if I'm on a position and his head's here, see that distance is short, bang, straight in, it's called non-telegraphic. Doesn't matter how big you are or muscular you are, if you're not going to hit the target, as in timing and accuracy is concerned, okay, I believe this is much harder and much more professional than the punching bag. Okay? Although I'll explain in a minute, the punching bag you can create it better than professional than this, but you've got to be very professional about it. But because this is very hard to time, especially with moves. Even standing still is very hard to time, it's a small target. It's all about timing and accuracy. Okay. Which speed does not work alone. Now you spin fast and missing the target, you have to have timing and accuracy. It works with a lot of things, coordination, power too, all these type of stuff, and it works together. So for example, if a person pulls his hand back, all you've got to do from here, bang, straight in, and you've scored. Then there's combinations, whatever. Okay, but you got to have timing and accuracy, because if you miss, you're going to get hit. Okay, there's other strategies, for example, it goes the other way too. For example, the person may be this way, and he may come in this way. Okay, so he may come with a punch this way. So if you relate that to the person being that way, and I'm in this position, he throws a punch, I might move out the way and smack him, so his hand's out here. So I move out the way, smack and knock him out. So I put him out of distance, okay, or out of timing and accuracy if you like. Okay, so it's all about moving around. Okay, come in, bang, in the word. Stationary target is much easier to hit than a movable one. So as you're moving around, you're much harder to hit. Okay, so then, for example, in timing, it's all about timing and accuracy, really. Okay, with everything else in the martial arts, like I said, speed is a very, very important. Precision, which is timing and accuracy. I mean, power. Okay, all these things, coordination, control, all these things. A complete martial artist or boxer, Muay Thai boxer or any art, or whether street fighting or ring, you need all these qualities. You need to have balance. Okay? So this starts with the punching bag. You get that power and you're moving around the bag. This is the bag, you move around it and let it loose, dodge it, whatever. Much easier, much harder to dodge, but easier to hit because it's a bigger target. Although if you don't hit that right, you can break your hand. Especially if you're doing it, the power that I put behind it. Because if it hits on the side of the punching bag, it's going to drop your hand, but you've got to hit it directly in the centre. Nevertheless, from the punching bag, you may go to equipment like mittens or other hitting devices, and then you go on to this. From there, sparring. If you have a sparring partner and you time this perfectly the way you see me do it at times in shows, you can then go on to the punching bag. And what that means is, if you start with the punching bag, it doesn't necessarily mean where you aim you're going to hit, especially if you're moving the bag around a lot. Stationary, you may get that, but moving around is very difficult. So once you get that on the bag, then on the mittens and on the pads, then on the tennis ball, and you're coming out, bang, you've got perfect timing where you never miss. Okay, you're in this position, come in, okay, from there, now that you can get perfect timing, you can actually use the punching bag. Because you're going to hit the bullseyes all the time. Doesn't matter if it's big. You know where you're aiming. Where you're aiming is you're going to hit it. Because you can hit that. So you can hit that big bag now, not by missing it slightly or whatever, but this time hitting the pinpoint. So that you've got a bigger target, you can put a lot of them around. Move them around. Now they're bigger. And you can get hit easier. Then the ball is much easier to dodge. That's more harder than this one, but this one's more easier than that one. That one's more harder to dodge, but it's easier to produce power. Okay? So you might toss the bag and it comes in and you dodge it. And on the bag, it's very good to use the bag once you get that level, because you can push the bag out. And you bring it back and let it hit you to start puffing up your stomach. Okay? Or the whole area actually. Okay, we shall use that a lot, but anyway. So, for example, argument's sake, when we refer to non-telegraphic blows are pretty much the strategy behind a combat fighter. For example, you may be in this position and come in here, and I'll try to do one now. Okay, and from here, you open your hand, then you come in, and it's, like a combat strikes before it's seen. It's non-telegraphic. It means that the arm is not, it's much harder to do from here than out here. If it's out here, it's kind of like, the hand moves before the foot. Not the foot before the hand is not telegraphic strategy, because if I move up the foot and then punch, and then my opponent sees that I'm moving into an attack, and most likely he will read that I'm about to attack. He may not know what I'm going to use, but he's already, the idea is, as you're moving around, okay, for example, you're standing still, and all of a sudden just kind of bang, and you strike, like kind of like that, you see. Like, for example, you just concentrate and just move in. So the hand moves the same time or before the foot, doesn't matter either way, but the foot first. Okay, they're called non-telegraphic techniques. Okay, for example, you can do hooks like that. You may be here, you may be walking around. Okay, you a non-telegraphic technique as a hook, and it becomes a knockout blow. Very powerful. It can be an uppercut. You're in this position like he is. It comes in, and you strike right up without telegraphing the blow, without letting your opponent see what it is. There's other types of speed, like speed of the beat, which I explained before. He pulls his hand back, he's beating into the attack. It's actually called speed of the beat, which I explained that before. As he moves his hand, you might come in, or vice versa. He's coming in there, you move out the side, bang, and you beat the person with the kick or the punch, or whatever. There's other strategies, like, for example, change direction midstream. So you might be here, you might go from here, bang, bang. For example, there's two people, you change direction midstream. There's different types of speed, the speed of movement. And of course, these can be combined, as you saw me give the movement or whatever I did there, combined kind of thing. And of course, you can do more than one technique in speed of change direction midstream. There's what else? Speed of the mind, which is basically, to interpret that, I have to do it slowly and fast, two different techniques. And explain it in this way. Speed of movement may be how fast the punch is traveling. We won't do a non-telegraphic blow this way. For example, we'll just do a telegraphic one, so you can see. But speed of movement may be where you're very fast in what you do. I'm not sure if that's fast, but I mean that you're very fast in what you are moving, but it's not called telegraphic. It's not called non-telegraphic. Whereas, for example, speed of the mind may be that you're slowing this, so you may do it, much slower, okay, but you're faster in the mind. What that means is that, for example, now you can have a combination of all these things, but for argument's sake, if there's two different fighters, one is fast in the mind. For example, he sees the opening, he thinks and responds really quickly. as on the third step. He sees it, thinks it, reacts. It's the third step. A person with the spirit of the mind will be much. Hang on. Let me explain that better. It has to be like 5 steps, for example, so you can understand it. Okay, an attack comes in. A person that's fast may see the opening, think about it, make a decision, for example, and then all of a sudden pull his hand back and respond to a 5 movement, 5 thoughts, but move fast on the 5th count. Whereas the speed of the mind will shorten that count. For example, he will think of it, bang, respond instantly on a 2 count, or maybe not that fast if he hasn't got speed of movement, but he may do it slow. He may come, think of it, bang, and it's only 2 counts. Whereas the other person, you might have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, although it will be done a lot faster. So, but it depends on how fast they are in both these things, the mind and in the speed. So if you combine all these things together now, you will get what you saw before, kind of like coming this way. Okay. Okay. So there's different types of speeds and different options. You may more than us is to talk about here this balance. In combat, we don't need balance or standing still. That's for ballerinas, although that's good to learn, because you've got to learn stationary balance before you learn movable balance. We need movable balance. Balance of movable, moving balance, moving around in combat. Okay. Sometimes you're moving around, it's not how fast you go like Muhammad Ali. That's good, that's excellent. It depends, it goes both ways. Muhammad Ali was good with that. You can like the speed of the mind, you can actually move slow, and that could be faster than the ones moving fast in combat. It depends on the situation. Muhammad Ali was good in moving fast, yet he was young and fit, and it's very, very easy for him to do because he was very professional at it. But it's like this, if this target's coming in this way, say that's the punch, okay? And I'll move really fast, and I don't see it, I'm going to dive right into it. But for example, if I'm fast like Muhammad Ali, the target's coming in, and I see it, and I can duck it rather than move it out in the way. For example, Muhammad Ali will move out the way rather than duck it. That's an example of ducking rather than moving out the way. It's the same thing, except Muhammad Ali will usually move out the way, even duck it many times, if you saw it in his younger days, but he'd be fast at it. But if you slow down the movement, you've got more time to think. So for example, the ball's coming in, and you move slowly, you've got more time to move out the way, see? You've got more time to move it in, you've got more time to reverse it, to come this way. Same thing, except it's the speed of the mind working out the speed of movement. You can combine the two together if you know how to do that. You're coming in here, you're coming here, you've gone here, you've gone here. Okay, you can mix it up. Then there's different type of speed where it's called rhythm, which refers in the category of speed, but I relate it that way. Rhythm, change your rhythm, change your, is it called change? Well, I call it change your rhythm or something like that. For example, this is why the boxers may go slow. They may go slow. It's very deceptive. And the person's coming in and they're dodging it, so they're not getting hit or blocking it, whatever. And they're hitting slow, making themselves look like nonsense. Okay? Especially the first time in the ring. Okay, deliberately, but not if you don't do it deliberately and you don't know what to do next. I mean, you may be coming this way, moving slowly, bunny punches, not speed at all, just giving little bruises to the opponent, and all of a sudden you've gone here and you've gone bang, and you've changed the rhythm. You do it the reverse way, you can go bang, you can go, bang, and all of a sudden you go, oh well I missed that one, but you've gone this one, and you've gone the reverse way. Okay, you may have to put a little bit more power into it though. It may not work no matter with a punch because you need speed, momentum to be powerful in the blows, but it doesn't matter because you may be going kind of like this and you may make a fast one And then from there, you make your finger jab into the eyes. Okay, then you might just go boom. So real slow, and you know, people can't follow the rhythm. In combat, it's about following the rhythm. It's about dancing, like a dancer, like a ballerina. When I said before ballerina, I'm talking about this for study. Like a ballerina or like a dancer, but in footwork. So you're moving around in footwork.